This is the famous artwork, The Three Musicians by Pablo Picasso. It is a really famous synthetic cubism painting, and exactly as what synthetic cubism is supposed to be, it is synthetical. So Picasso thought that people should learn art from a 3-year-old, like collage and lines and just simple geometric shapes and abstractive patterns could actually turn into what is like art. And in this painting, Picasso showed us exactly how to do that by painting these collage-like figures and musicians with oil paint. It's actually quite a large painting, and it gives the appearance of paper cut, which is actually quite amazing. So Picasso paints 3 musicians who are brightly colored, and you can see that they're all flat, like 2-dimensional, because again, Picasso believed that a painting shouldn't be something that is a 3-dimensional world on something that is actually 2-dimensional, like a canvas. So synthetic cubism is what he did later on with his career. So on the left of the painting, you can see a person, probably in a white suit and hat, holding a clarinet. And on the right, you can see someone who is probably a monk in a black robe. And in the middle, there is a guitar player with bright colored clothing that are diamond patterned. And art historians believe that Picasso was actually painting the figure in the middle as himself, and the 2 on the side as his friends. And you can see that even though the background of the painting is like more dark and muted, the front view, I shouldn't actually say that because it's supposed to be 2-dimensional. You can see that the figures are a lot more colorful, and they make the whole painting look really lifelike and fun. So to many art historians, the 3 musicians are seen as Picasso's reply to the piano Listen, which is another music-making sense painted by Henri Matisse. So the 3 musicians is a perfect example of Picasso's Cubist style. And artworks in Cubism are transformed into like a plans, lines, and arches. So Cubism has been described as in like odd, like Cubist odds. And if you look really closely and carefully at the painting, you would see some really interesting details. Like, for example, the height of the floor behind each musician is actually different. Like, the yellow ochre part of the background the height is different behind every musician. And another interesting thing is that you can see there is something blue on the clarinet player, which is probably supposed to be his other arm than the black one. But it is probably also the face of the guitar player, but at the same time, it must be something for the monk too. So it's really interesting how Picasso combined basically everything together, but it is really amazing to see how that geometric shapes and abstractive patterns could actually create such great art. And this is a collage I did to learn from synthetic cubism. So different from before, I didn't try to actually do the same as, I didn't try to actually recreate the same artwork. Instead, I tried to use the same method and form of the painting, but instead do it in another kind of way. And in this artwork, I used printed paper, like printed music sheet and colorful paper and watercolor and a lot of other things that are interesting for art. And I think it's quite fun doing this, especially when considering that you don't actually have to have a goal for what you're trying to do, since actually you're trying to learn from a 3-year-old. So it's really fun, and I think it's a really good way